Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever one it happens to be for you. I hope you're doing well. So the game ended 1-1 with Wolves. The first half, I think the very first part of that first half, we did allow them to have chances. They looked quite strong. They came on quite strong. But once we settled into the game, I feel like we did enough to probably have scored. I think that we actually did have chances and we didn't manage to get the goal, but I feel like at least we did enough to probably have scored a goal. And then the second half was so poor, so poor. We weren't challenging for the ball. They were winning the ball. They were stronger. They just wanted it more. It felt like they wanted to win the game, and then they did score a scrappy goal. But that didn't even kick us up the backside to do anything. It felt really lackluster and like they were just tired, like they just couldn't be bothered. Because you'd think a goal being scored against you would give you a little bit of a boost, like you'd be like, right, now we need to do something. But they just didn't. They just really didn't. And I think Xavi Simons wasn't very good today. I think he had a bit of a poor game. I don't think that really many of the players had a particularly good game, if I'm going to be honest with you. Again, with the whole catchy bug of giving the ball away, which is really, really frustrating, pointlessly ridiculous, and yeah, just very annoying. And in that second half especially, they looked so much stronger than us. They just looked so much better. They really did want it, and they were challenging for every ball and pretty much winning every single ball, making us do a foul so they would get a free kick. All little things like that they were doing, because of course they had something to protect, but still they did look dangerous as well and look like scoring more so than we ever did. We did not look like scoring in that second half. They showed the graphic and it wasn't, I think it was like the 80 something minute or something like that. It was close to that. And they said that the last touch that we actually had in their box was in the 43rd minute, or the last chance that we had, or something like that, which was basically ridiculous. It was awful, absolutely awful. And I don't think that the changes really made much difference. I'm going to be honest. I don't think that they come on and did much, but I do think that perhaps changing it a little bit sooner, perhaps changing formation, I don't know. We just needed to do something, and Thomas Frank didn't do that, in my opinion. Now, we didn't lose the game because Palhinha scored an absolutely fantastic goal. However, I do think that Thomas Frank didn't do too great today. But I'm not going to over criticise. It is so early days. We've lost one game, but it is a little bit worrying to see that we do have these games. I think that all teams do have these games. I'm not going to say that it's just us, but yeah, it was a bit of a worry because they just looked like they didn't care. They were very slow, like everything was so slow paced and nobody was in no hurry, it seemed, to do anything. And if there was a little bit more urgency, it was sloppy. It wasn't precise. It wasn't getting the ball quickly to the box and trying to score a goal. It was just sloppy. We also really annoyingly tried some outside of the box shots that were just ridiculous. Romero did one. I think that Porro did one. That was just like, what are you doing? I think that one of the times maybe it was, I want to say Palhinha did as well, and Johnson was making a really good run, and instead of passing the ball, he just took the shot on himself. So again, with the decision making, I've said this before, sometimes our decision making is really bad, and that is a real issue, and I think that's been an issue in the past as well. They just seem to just get a bit bird brain about them. And that is very annoying. That is extremely annoying. So yeah, we didn't lose the game, but it wasn't a great game to watch. It was really boring in that second half for me. I just didn't enjoy that at all. And as I say, the fact that they just looked so much more dangerous than what we did. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a game that put us up in third place in the table at the moment. So I don't think you find many will actually be complaining too much. And if they are, then really, I think after this amount of games, did we expect to be up that high? Probably not. And I don't think we're going to remain there. But as I keep saying, we need to get those points on the table and stay up there for as long as possible. So, yeah, I'm happy that we got the point. Probably didn't deserve the point. Probably didn't deserve the point at all, if I'm honest. But that is the way football obviously does go. So, yeah, let me know your opinion of the game. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you thought overall. Do you think that it's a worry? Tell me what parts that you're getting frustrated with, like me, like I say, giving the ball away and how slow we were in that second half, especially, was driving me absolutely bonkers. And yeah, I will speak again with you all very soon. Take very, very good care of yourselves.